Well, with me right now is Tim Moy, and he's the Director of Security Operations here, among other things, because that covers many things, compliance, and so we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Dan. Good to see
nice
you.
to see you. This is what we're going to talk about first, and people have probably noticed it a little bit, is the security vehicles have a new look, right?
Right, they do. I think they've got it's a nice, sleek, professional look. I think in the past that our security vehicles look much like our other VMS vehicles.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes.
Landscaping.
Yeah.
And now there's no doubt you're going to see security out there, and we want our residents to know we're out in the field, we're in the community, we're patrolling, we're responding to calls for service, and so it's working out pretty good. You know, we're not trying to replicate or duplicate anything that law enforcement is doing, but we understand the reasoning behind it. You want them to be highly visible, and these vehicles are definitely highly visible. Now, they're not new. There are old vehicles. We took off the old
and here's
decals
we're taking
and we
a look
put on
at
the new ones. Right, and so I think it's a great look.
It is, and I have noticed this just in other communities, in my community, that the security vehicles look different.
Right.
That is the schematic on the side, the graphics,
Absolutely.
So they're more identified. And I think the thing that's most stands out here is the blue color above anything else. People used to seeing that, you know, the greenish color. Yeah.
So it is set apart, and we do want that.
That's
we
nice.
want to make sure that our residents can see us, but not only our residents, but any guests that are in the community. Not everyone is law-abiding. So we want them to see that very bold security.
Yeah, it looks great.
Wording there. Yeah, it looks good.
Now I hear that you're going to be equipping the vehicles with computers?
We are. So the goal with the computers is to keep our officers out in the field. You know, they write reports when they respond to calls for service, whatever it might be. But without computers in the cars, they have to come back to our office and write the reports. So the goal with that is, one, to keep them out in the field. They handle a call, they can stay in their immediate area, write that report, and then be able to respond to the next call. But also just as a database to assist our community, but looking up residents, looking up locations, if there's some violations, what have you. So that's going to assist our officers while they're conducting their job and performing their duties.
Now, you obviously, being that you were formerly with Orange County Sheriff, you're well aware of these systems. The systems we're bringing in here kind of a plug and play that already has like security software in it, so to speak? Right.
That's a great question. There is a little bit of work to do with these. We have to make sure we marry them up and they're compatible to our current systems, our current databases. You know, we've got our IT guru, you know, Chuck Holland. He's doing all the research. He's making sure that works for us. So what we do have will work for our community. And this is such a unique community that things that maybe work elsewhere don't necessarily work here. And so that's why, you know, having our team to make sure it fits for what we want to use it for.
And when do you anticipate this?
Well, I would say within the next few months.
Okay.
Right, yeah, and we'll probably get one or two out there just to play with them first to see how it works, just like anything. Work out the glitches, make sure it fits well within our system, and even within the vehicles. It's kind of a tight space in those trucks.
Yeah.
We drive Nissan Frontier, so you have your dispatch unit in there, the radios, what have you, and then now we're going to put a computer in. So we need to make sure that our officers can still do their job.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
All right, as we know, we've been hearing that coming up this year, we're going to be seeing the new gate systems going in to several locations, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 14, I believe, if I have that right.
You do.
It's exciting. You know, tell us, as far as the systems that went into gates 5 and 6, how long has it been now?
Boy,
a year and a half?
It's been about a year. Yeah, it's been over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I remember the first interview I did with you, we were standing out by, I think, gate 6.
We were.
It was under construction.
Correct, yeah. And I think it's gone very smoothly. Again, there's always going to be a few hiccups.
Yeah.
You know, as the residents become familiar with that gate access. We had to work through some computer issues with Dwelling Live, California Gates. There's a merge in that far lane, as we know, at both 5 and 6. And we received some complaints about it, but we just said, hey, folks, you know, you need to understand the rules of the road, and we need to make sure that we merge safely. So that's worked out well. But it has taken a little bit of time. I would say 5 and 6 has been hugely successful, and it has helped our security measures in the village. These other gates, and I didn't include 4. 4 is an exit only, but we are going to be doing something with 4 as well. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then obviously 7, 8, 9, 14. It's going to take some time, before Ernesto Munoz and his team can break ground, but we're hoping to get those in by the end of the year. We'll see how that goes, but that's what we're looking at and we're hoping for.
And along with the gates, there's the cameras that are there too.
Right. Now, most people don't realize that, and there's a reason for it. Again, it's that security measure as well. So we can, I think Director Ray Gross from our GR report said it's an investigative tool. It is an investigative tool. We had an accident out at Gate 6 a few weeks ago, or actually last week, in which a bicyclist was riding northbound, and a vehicle, not a member, not a resident, was leaving Gate 6 and actually hit the bicyclist and then fled the scene. We pulled the tapes. We were able to zoom right in on that license plate. It captured the traffic accident, and we were able to turn that over to the Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
It
That's
was
great.
Outstanding work. And so it's not just the criminal type investigations, it's also some of the other things, our rules violations as well, illegal occupants. We're able to track how many times a vehicle is coming in and how many times it's leaving. Unfortunately, we do have some illegal occupants who stay in excess of the 60-day rule. This will allow us to pull that information based on the car they're driving. I've said this numerous times, we're not trying to be Big Brother. We're not trying to watch our members, but when a complaint comes in, this is just one more tool that we can use to look into what's taking place.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Now, I know how proactive you are with disaster preparedness. We've talked about that many times and had the tabletop teams.
Sure.
With the recent fires that we've had and then the ensuing mudslides in many areas.
Terrible.
Overall, this is something that, whether it's a fire or something else, you have to stay on top of and prepare for, right?
Absolutely. So we've done a pretty good job preparing for that. We've got a new emergency operations plan, as you know. We've got that on the internet, and residents can go and take a look at that. Matter of fact, I met with the sheriff or the sheriff lieutenant who represents Laguna Woods Village or Laguna Woods and the city yesterday just to discuss responding to major incidents. We were discussing the gate access and with the construction that's going to take place, because we need to make sure there's still proper flow in and out of the village. And so we'll let the sheriff know, we'll let the fire know, saying, hey, here's where the construction is taking place. We don't want their response efforts slowed by what we're doing with the gates and during the construction of it. But on other things, with being prepared, we'll be doing more tabletop exercises. We'll be providing more training, CPR, first aid to our residents. We're going to be recruiting, or at least trying to recruit more building captains and good neighbor building captains to just stay involved. And in the event there is a major incident and our first responders are delayed, that we'll be able to take care of ourselves for anywhere from 24 hours to a week if possible. So we've lined those things up.
And I understand you're looking at medical distribution with the county health department.
We are.
And this is in case of an emergency. We're going to have unique situations here. Or any real senior community in Orange County would, of course.
Sure. And if there's some type of medical outbreak, some type of virus, and medication needs to be distributed. We have formed a partnership with the Orange County Healthcare. They're going to be down in the community tomorrow. We're going to be meeting with them. We'll be going over the plan that we have. But the bottom line is that just like that RFID where everybody went to either let's Clubhouse 5 or Clubhouse 3. It'd be the same thing in some type of medical outbreak where we need to get some type of medication. We'll have a system in place where our residents could go to Clubhouse 5 and get that, or Clubhouse 3. So that will be coming out within the next few months, and just to further explain that. But right now, our partnership with Orange County Healthcare, Orange County Sheriff, Orange County Fire Authority is very strong. Yeah,
that's a good point you bring up with that, with the problems with the flu we've seen throughout this country.
Right.
And having the ability to maybe somehow having a distribution, with proper medical,
Sure.
proper medical staff there.
Correct.
People can go get the Tamiflu or whatever it may be without going to their doctor or something like that. So now, what you folks may not know, you probably know that the security department also oversees compliance, but also social services, right?
Right.
Yeah, compliance is a big part of it, and I remember, I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so, compliance became a part of the security division.
It did, right.
Yeah.
Right. And that works well, a great partnership.
Yeah.
You know, when security comes over here to the community center, compliance will be in our office area. So, you know, we really want to make sure that we're collaborating together. You know, in simple terms, I say, hey, if security and our officers, or if they're the little police department, then compliance is our district attorney. They're the ones who get all the reports, they review it.
That's a good point.
And they bring the discipline in front of the hearings, the appropriate boards for discipline, if necessary.
Yeah.
If necessary. Our residents are pretty good. 80% of them, we notify them of a violation through compliance, and the people correct it.
Right.
We have to deal with the 15 to 20%ers. But we are fully staffed now. Frances Rangel and her team are doing an incredible job. There's a team philosophy in there with 2 new compliance coordinators. We're very pleased. They came in, hit the ground running. So you're going to see some good things from compliance, or just to be more timely, more reactive to the needs of our community as well.
So social services, how does that dovetail into security?
Right. So social services, you know, there's the aspect of security where we go out on medical aids, you know, with the senior community. There are those who may need more assistance from family. Social services is very involved with the welfare and the care of our residents. And if there are some issues that are taking place, you know, rather than just going through compliance and bringing them in front of a disciplinary hearing, sometimes social services get involved and give them some other tools to work through maybe some neighborhood disputes, or possibly some pre-dementia, Alzheimer's things when that comes up as well. So unfortunately, we're going to be losing Betty Curley this year to retirement.
Yeah.
So those are tough shoes to fill, but we've identified a person to come in, and so we're excited about what the future holds. I just wanted to mention, on top of everything else, that social services will be involved in a workshop here next month with the city. And you know, there's an opioid crisis across our nation, and not just the illegal drugs, but prescription drugs as well. We know that within the senior communities, that the most abuse here in Orange County, a report actually was performed by Healthcare and the Coroners Division, that overdose deaths due to medications, the age group that is most at risk is 55 to 64. And that's the number one. Number 3 is 65 to 74. So there's some things that we've got to keep an eye on in here, and social services is going to be involved in that to try to provide that assistance to our community in the event we see that someone might be struggling in that area. And you know, we understand it. The aged, those who are long in years, may have some ailments, and they are prescribed medication. We just need to make sure it's done in a safe way. You know, that there's no doctor shopping, or they're not taking friends' medications or what have you. So we're there to support our community, and social services is doing that as well. So great team there.
It is a great team, and Betty has done a remarkable job. After a few years back when Marcia Wilson left, who was wonderful, Betty she worked with Marcia for years. Betty has done a tremendous job. So
we're going to miss her.
Yeah, I will miss her as well. But a great department. And you know, again, if you ever have any concerns, maybe about a neighbor, what you say is kept in confidence, but it could turn out to really help somebody, and at least to the point if they can kind of look into it and see if there's a need there for something.
Sure.
It may be through the foundation, where maybe they're getting some funds to pay a bill or food or whatever it may be, or there's something more of a concern.
They've got great resources down there, and a very committed team as well. Very compassionate.
Thank you very much.
It was good to see you.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by today, and look out for those security vehicles. You'll see those with, you saw with the bright blue stripe on them, and they stand out, and it's good. Yeah, they look nice.
High visibility.
Did you design those?
I had a little bit to do with it.
Okay, very good. All right, we'll be back.